Have you ever wondered why a pirate, Goldie Roger, and his rival Garp, who also hated the celestial dragons, teamed up to fight Roxy Xebec? Yes, Xebec was really strong, but there were many other strong pirates in One Piece. For example, why did Shanks and Kizaru not team up to defeat Kaido, or Blackbeard? Or you can imagine any other combination. We all know that Garp hates the celestial dragons and openly disrespects them. He despises them so much that he even refused to become an admiral, as it would force him to follow their orders. It's still imaginable why he would fight Xebec to save them, but why would Roger protect the world nobles? Was Rox so strong that he could defeat the whole government, including the Gorosei, the Holy Knights, and then Imu? My answer would be no. Was he close to an ancient weapon? My guess would also be no. He couldn't have had Poseidon, and as the God Valley disappeared and no one has mentioned anything about the ancient weapons, I don't think he was looking for them there. Then why did Roger and Garp decide that it was time to stop him? I believe that Xebec was really close to achieving his dream of becoming the king of the world. He could do it at God Valley, and I will explain why, so be sure to watch this till the end to understand. In a recent chapter, it was revealed that Xebec was at the Reverie where he killed an admiral. This was one of the most interesting details for me, because why or how was he there? One option is that he sneaked in like the Revolutionary Army did, which is less likely for me. He could have been affiliated with the World Government Kingdom, or he is a celestial dragon who lived in Marijua. As you already guessed from the title, I believe he was from a noble family, and he was the leader of the Holy Knights. To explain this, we have to go back to Dressrosa and Doflamingo. Doflamingo was born in one of the 20 royal families and lived in Marijua. However, he was 8 years old when his father, Homing, chose to cease being a world noble and live a normal life with his family. So we know that it's possible to leave Marijua without problems. There is no rule that you must stay there. The only problem is living a normal life as a world noble because people didn't accept them. They burned down their mansion and drove the family into a makeshift shack on a junk pile, forcing the children to eat out of garbage cans out of desperation. Because of this, Homing called the world nobles for their help and, of course, got rejected, meaning that once you leave Marijua, you can't go back and restore your nobility. Even if Xebec and his son, Blackbeard, are nobles by blood, Teach can't just go to Marijua, especially after the damage he and his father caused the world government. But we know that Teach wants to attend the Reverie as he is trying to make Hachinosu, the pirate island, recognized as a world government nation. That's why he captured Kobe. Back to Xebec. I don't think he killed an admiral and left Marijua to live a happy, normal life. The reason why he said no to the power of a world noble was more power. As you know, the world government was very careful with Doflamingo because he was a pirate who knew a lot of secrets about the celestial dragons. Doflamingo revealed that he had knowledge of a secret national treasure. Since the world nobles could not kill him, they became cooperative. Doffy also stated that he could become the king of the world with the national treasure of Marijua and a specific devil fruit. His goal was to become the king of the world as well. We don't know what Xebec's motives are, but Doflamingo wanted to destroy the world because neither people nor the celestial dragons accepted him. Do you remember his amazing speech after he was captured? He told Tsuru, "This is one seat that's totally empty." You know what I mean, don't you? At the time, we thought it was about becoming the Pirate King, but no. It was about Marijua's empty throne. The empty throne has existed since the Void Century, 800 years before the story's present time. The false premise is that no one is allowed to sit on this throne, not even the Five Elders or the world nobles, as its vacancy symbolizes that the world is not ruled by a single figure. There are not a lot of people who know about this throne. Even King Starry didn't know about it, but even a dumb character like him realized that he could become the king of the world by sitting on that throne. Doflamingo knew about it, and I believe Xebec and also Blackbeard know about it as well. Sengoku said that Xebec was involved with many of this world's taboo subjects, so Rox's place in history has been considerably diminished in the decades since his death. Many young Marines didn't even know about him, and it's really strange. Yes, he was a criminal, but why did the world government decide to erase him from history? Because he knew and did things they don't want people to know. Imagine a holy knight killing an admiral, leaving Marijua, and then becoming the world's most dangerous criminal. The Five Elders did not want the world to know the truth. Also, killing an admiral and escaping from Marijua without a crew is a very big feat, even for Xebec. But if he was a celestial dragon, then it could explain a lot. There would be massive confusion. Admirals are like slaves for them, so no one would have known what to do if they saw that scene. But why do you think that he was the leader of the Holy Knights and not just a random world noble? First of all, can you name any strong celestial dragon who is not a Holy Knight? No. And with his power level, I am sure he was the leader. Also, I believe that symbolically he was killed by the next leader of the Holy Knights, Figurlin Garling. Who else could have killed him at God Valley? Roger, Pirates, and Garp are not the type of people who kill others. Saturn would not transform into a demon in front of so many influential characters. The only character left is Figurlin Garling. Garp and Roger defeated Rox, but Garling was the one who did the final blow and killed him. It could be one of the many reasons why there is a rivalry between Blackbeard and Shanks. I am sure you've seen a lot of theories that Teach will kill Shanks and then Luffy will avenge him. I don't think it's far from the truth, and it will be symbolic as well. Figurlin Garling killed Xebec, and Xebec's son will kill Garling's son. Now, this is where it gets interesting. It is not strange that every pirate wants to become the Pirate King, but Doflamingo, Xebec, and Teach want to become the king of the world? Especially at the time, Xebec was the only one with that goal, so I'm sure he knew about the empty throne and maybe even about Emu. The reason why Roger and Garp teamed up and fought Xebec was that he was already too close to achieving his goal. I believe Rox had the Ope Ope no Mi, and we know from Doflamingo that this fruit is one of the keys to becoming the king of the world. In this chapter, we saw him cut a mountain, but we don't see a sword, only a strange hand gesture that looks a lot like Law's shambles. That hand gesture and the ease of slicing a mountain make me believe that he was the previous user of the Ope Ope no Mi. Everyone was shocked when Mihawk sliced an iceberg with a sword. Everyone was shocked when Zoro cut Pika in half with his swords, but Xebec did it easily without any weapons, which is possible for a strong character like him, but unlikely without a devil fruit power. In chapter 765, when Corazon told Sengoku that he knew where the Ope Ope no Mi was, Sengoku nearly fainted. He began to sweat and became serious all of a sudden. Why? Because he knew the Ope Ope no Mi's true powers. He had seen it with his own eyes and knew its possibilities. In the wrong hands, the fruit is destructive for the world. The Marines were willing to pay as much as 5 billion berries to buy this fruit. Even Diaz Barrels, the owner of the fruit, was shocked by that price. Like many others, he didn't know about Xebec either because he was erased from history. Doflamingo called Diaz Barrels an idiot because he didn't know its true value, and he was also sure the government would try to buy it too. Doflamingo wanted his brother to eat it, and then use its ultimate ability to grant Doflamingo eternal youth in exchange for Corazon's own life. Somehow, by getting eternal life and using the national treasure of Marijua, there is a way to become the king of the world. At least, this is the information we have from Doflamingo. Here comes the question. If Xebec owned this fruit, how could he grant himself eternal life without dying? For this, I recommend you watch my previous video, but I'll tell you the main part quickly. I believe Xebec and Blackbeard are buccaneers for a lot of reasons you'll find in that video. In chapter 1104, Vegapunk revealed that buccaneers are said to possess a unique ability or characteristic in addition to their incredible bodies. The context of this was Vegapunk witnessing a soulless cyborg Kuma go on an impossible rampage against Saturn to save Bonnie. We know that Vegapunk installed a self-destruct feature into Cyborg Kuma, a sort of kill switch, and for some reason it failed to work. Vegapunk even hinted this failure might be due to Kuma's buccaneer blood. So far, buccaneers have been known for their extraordinary physical endurance, and Kuma especially represents the theme of taking on pain. But now we know that Kuma, and buccaneers in general, are even more different than we thought. Later, it was revealed that the self-destruct feature didn't work, but why was that detail given to us, unless it leads to something bigger? I believe that the self-destruct triggered by Saturn actually awakened a latent second personality, or soul, within Kuma's buccaneer blood. That's the force currently driving his body. That's why I believe buccaneers can eat 2 devil fruits. Either Teach discovered this ability himself, or perhaps Xebec figured it out first and passed the knowledge down. As I mentioned earlier, Xebec knew many taboo truths about the world, which is why he was erased from history. Teach managed to eat a second devil fruit and didn't die. Thanks to his buccaneer blood, he likely activated a second soul. If Vegapunk knew something like this, it's very possible that Xebec, who had deep knowledge of the world's secrets, knew it too. Basically, buccaneers have 2 lives if it's internal. They can be killed, but if it's about eating a second devil fruit, a self-destruct button, or some ability, they can withstand it because of their strong bodies. So most likely, using the Ope Ope no Mi's ability on himself would activate Xebec's second soul and he would become immortal. The only thing left was the national treasure of Marijua, and it was at God Valley. Do you remember the conversation between the Rox pirates when they arrived on the island? Whitebeard said that they had a goal. Captain John was talking about some kind of treasure, and when Charlotte Linlin said that this treasure would be hers, Kaido replied that it would be pointless in her hands because only Rox could use it with his devil fruit powers. In Stussie's opinion, it was the decisive battle, and it really was. Every detail and every conversation leads me to believe that Rox, with the Ope Ope no Mi, went to God Valley to get the national treasure of Marijua and become the king of the world. That's why it was the decisive battle, and that's why Roger and Garp teamed up to fight Rox. And that's why Garp earned the title the Hero of the Marines, because without them, Rox D. Xebec would have achieved his goal. But maybe that throne has been waiting for a son all along. Hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. Bye.